there, it's Olivia-Savannah here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm here to share with you my 2021 goals. This goals list is going to cover more than books, and I actually rarely ever set a goals thing for books, so this is actually the first year I'm doing it. I've only got 2 book ones, so I'm going to start with book ones and then writing ones and then go into other. So if you're only here for the books and the writing, that can be fine and you'll get those first. I also anticipate this being a very short video because there's not much to explain here. The first goal that I have is to read more of my big books. Ideally, I will be reading one of my chunky books a month. I just feel like I've been in the mood to read my bigger books. Books that are 400 pages plus have really been my jam lately, and I'm hoping that's just going to continue throughout the year, because in previous years I've been more so reading shorter, quicker reads, and it's just nice that I'm in this mood and I'm just going to try and run with it. I've also got a buddy read going with Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, and we're planning to read War and Peace over the course of the entire year, so that's one of my year-long ones, so I guess I can also make that a goal. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to reading some of my thicker, bigger, heavier books, but also kind of balancing it with some light, easygoing reads too. And then my second reading goal is to read more in my second and third language. So just to avoid confusion, because I know some people get confused, I am British and my first language is English. Throughout the pandemic, I've been living here in the Netherlands, which is where I grew up, so my second language is Dutch. However, before the pandemic, for the past 3 years, I'd been living in England, and that meant I didn't speak Dutch at all because I didn't know anyone who spoke Dutch in the UK. And also when I came here to the Netherlands, all of my friends speak English as well, so I mostly stuck to English, and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about losing my second language. So my plan is to just watch more films and videos in the language, try and get over my shyness and speak it a bit more, and also to read some of the Dutch books that I do own because I get them from the free little library, and it would just be a good way for me to keep holding onto that language. The third language is not one that I'm fluent in whatsoever. I'm learning it, and that is Spanish. I've been learning it for a very long time, and in previous years, but not for the past 2 years, I usually spend the summer in Spain working. However, that hasn't happened lately, but when I work in Spain I can only speak in Spanish, and that was always something that increased my fluency so much more. But I never really focused on writing or reading in Spanish, and I would really like to make that one of my goals. I've got 2 or 3 or 4 Spanish books in my TBR pile, in my TBR wardrobe, and I'm looking forward to hopefully improving my Spanish to the point where I can read at the very least the one children's Spanish book I have, and then maybe some other works, maybe stick to the middle grade children's for the time being so I can improve my Spanish. But yes, those are my 2 main reading goals, which is to read bigger books and also read in my other languages. Now we're going on to my 2 writing goals, and the first one is to finish the first draft of my novel in verse and start editing it. I've been writing a novel in verse and been having such a blast with doing so. I'm a quarter of the way through and I would like to finish it this year. What can I tell you about it without giving too much away? Well, I'll tell you that it's set in Australia. It has to do with a British Jamaican girl who grew up in the Netherlands. Does that sound familiar? And it's a story about grief. And yeah, I think those are the 3 things I would like to tell you about it. I'm really loving it, and I feel like it's some of my best writing yet, simply because the novel in verse format really works for my writing style. I also would like to finish the first draft of my novel. I've been working on this one for a while, and I got a quarter of the way through a draft, I would say, and then I decided to start from the beginning because there were just so many things I didn't flesh out properly and didn't organize to the level that I would have wanted to organize them to. So we're starting again afresh, and I would like to finish and stay dedicated to this first draft once I've done a bit of extra planning. And what I can tell you about this novel is that it's adult Afrofuturism, it's female focused, it's got an isolated island setting, and it's a light Frankenstein retelling which focuses on the concepts of Black beauty. And that's all I want to share about that right now. But yes, I'm also really excited and happy to be writing that. I don't typically set Booktube, Bookstagram or blog subscriber followers goals because I don't think they're very feasible. I don't think you as a person has entire control over that, so I'm not going to be setting any of those goals. I don't actually have any goals for my channel other than to do Gothtober again with Tish from Little Wolf and also Hannah from Ladette M. That's my main goal, is to do that. But for my Bookstagram, my goal is to get back into editing photos again. I love taking flat lays and I do love edits, but they just take time that I haven't particularly had lately. But I'd like to invest more time into doing that again, so you'll see more edits. And I have absolutely no book blog goals because my book blog is on the back burner. It's something that I see more as a hobby now. I just do it for myself and to keep track of my own reviews. Then my goals in terms of just life things. The first one is to graduate. I'm in my final year of uni, scheduled to finish up the year at the end of May, and I just need to do my dissertation and some end of the year projects, and yeah, the goal is to graduate and finish university. And then I've got an internship that's starting this month in publishing, and that ends around halfway through the year. So my goal is for the internship to go well and for me to survive it. It's more so to see if I'm interested in actually pursuing a career in publishing. And then after graduating and finishing my internship, I need to start deciding what I want to do next. And that's it. I think that's my goal. Decide what I want to do after doing those things. We've got 2 more goals now, and this goal is kind of split into a few. I'm a huge fan of yoga and I'm also a huge fan of working out. Those are my 2 biggest passions aside from reading at the moment. I've been doing yoga since 2015, so 5 years now. Wow. And yeah, I've been working out for about the same length of time. I was in the basketball team since I was around 14, so that's when I started, you know, doing proper training. And then after that it kind of branched into not doing basketball anymore and just working out. Like 12 goals I would like to hit, but they're not really like you need to hit them. It's more a developmental thing. I'll explain as I go along. So the first one is to work out with my resistance bands more. I do have resistance bands and I've been able to find, you know, working out is getting a bit comfortable. I've kind of reached my comfort point with weights and with body weight workouts, and I want to try and up the ante a bit, so work out more with resistance bands. I'm also planning to get some ankle weights, and I would like to do some yoga drills for the first time, some headstand drills with ankle weights and just some other yoga drills with ankle weights on, so hopefully that can happen this year. I also want to just keep getting stronger. This is more so just trying to say keep doing cardio, because I feel like cardio is a bit of a push for me. It's not something I reach to do naturally, and I want to keep doing it. I've been really growing so much with my cardio last year, especially when I did the Chloe Ting 2-week challenge, which was also combined with a reading challenge. So I would like to keep doing cardio. And the next thing workout wise is to increase my weights. I use 2 kilograms for some of the ones that are a bit hard for me, and then I'm on 5 kilograms for the other weight workouts, but I'd like to up that for both of them if I possibly can. And then yoga poses, it's just developmental, so getting better. This is what my splits pose looks like now, and I would like to just keep making my splits more natural. There are some days that I can reach full splits and there's some days that I can't reach full splits, so I just want to keep doing my splits, stretches and flows so that I can fall into splits whenever I want to fall into splits and just be entirely comfortable there. That's my goal. So it'll probably look the same at the end of the year, but it'll just be easier and more comfortable for me. I also want to work on my handstand. This is something I say every year and then I fail to do the yoga flows that help you get to handstand, so hopefully I can get a handstand down. I want to work on doing my one-legged wheel pose with my legs straight. This is what my one-legged wheel pose looks like right now with my leg bent. I would like to work on getting my leg fully straight up. Then I would like to work on my Bird of Paradise one. This is really difficult for me because I do have a long-standing injury, which means that, well, it's actually a neck injury, but it pertains to my shoulder too, which means that any shoulder opener poses are especially hard for me. But this is what my Bird of Paradise pose looks like now, and I would just like to get my balancing leg straighter and just be a bit more comfortable with the shoulder part of it and the straight leg that's up part of it. Very not technical term speaking, but okay. I would like to learn one more new arm balance. I don't know which pose yet, but I know that there's a few that I've tried that I'm kind of able to do, so I'd like to just choose one and follow through so that I can finally do it in the end. I'd also like to work on my king pigeon pose, but it's got a back bend in it with a hip opener, and I would like to just keep trying to do that one. And then my last 2 have to do with my plexus wheel, and it's something that you can use for more balance poses, and balance poses are something that I tend to ignore in my yoga training. Oops. So I like to learn how to stand on my plexus wheel and maintain the balance while standing. And I'd also like to learn to do one yoga pose which uses a plexus wheel as support. Haven't chosen which one yet, but we'll just see as the year goes along. And that's kind of it. There's one more goal, but I know what that goal is, and I know that me watching this in the future is going to know what that goal is, because this goal takes a bit more confidence than I have right now, and it takes a bit more bravery than I have right now, and it's something I've been thinking about and wondering about, but I haven't taken the leap and made that jump. It's something that I would say for once I've graduated from uni, and yeah, my goal for this year is to get enough confidence in myself and also to just feel at a place where I'm satisfied enough that I can start this goal towards the end of the year. And I'll leave it as a secret mystery one because I don't think I'm brave enough to talk about it yet. But there you have it. Those are all my 2021 goals. Please let me know if you have any resolutions or goals that you're going to be doing for this year in the comment section down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video. And you know what they say, onwards and upwards. Excelsior!